Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
With a major selection of the looks your kiddos love, starting at just $4 in the Walmart app, a new school year means a stylish new them. Who knew? Find skater skirts and Crocs that say, I'm casual but cool. Sparkly sneakers that say, it's my classroom, you're just learning in it. And preppy polos that say, I'm the teacher's pet, even if they're mommy's menace at home. Find their favorite styles starting at just $4 in the app. The Walmart you thought you knew is now new.
War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast, our somewhat regular get-together with you in audio format here at E2C Network, where we share the Auburn experience, which to us is all about a few things: Auburn sports, Auburn culture, and Auburn family stuff. And easier ways to say it might be, though, is if it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for what we're going to be doing, joining us in what we're going to be doing today here on Ever to Podcast, episode 41. Today's date is July 23rd, 2025. We want to catch you up on the latest Auburn news, discussions, scuttlebutts, things that you need to be aware of in the Auburn experience. And I'm your host, as always, Kyle Loomis. Today, we're going to talk about how you can vote to support Auburn. We're going to talk about, and that's not politics, by the way. We'll give you an update about basketball summer league stuff and for the team as well. And if we have some time, we might even get into some things like putting perspective of how Auburn is part of the upper echelon of the SEC with the post that was made. So let's jump into all these things today. We're going to start, first of all, by reminding you that if you missed last night, you missed a great show with Clint Richardson, the Auburn Uniform Database. He loves keeping you guys informed about Auburn uniforms, Auburn aesthetics, Auburn history. And Auburn's first Nike uniforms have been unveiled the last couple of weeks, and we broke those down and talked about some other apparel news that you as fans need to be ready for purchasing and maybe honoring the past as well. So go check out that on YouTube if you'd like to see that and get the full conversation. Lots of great content in that show last night on our YouTube channel. First thing we want to talk about with you today, though, in terms of news, is let's break down a way that you can vote as Auburn people. This is not about politics. I guess every vote is about politics when you think about it. But what we're doing here is giving you the opportunity to support Auburn as the best fan base and Auburn as the best tradition, that tradition being Rolling Tumors Corner. The USA Today has put on something to put, as people do throughout the summer and trying to garner up content and things, create contests, opportunities to voice your opinion, to vote on things, and that's what we got going on here. USA Today, the best votes series they're doing, and they've done a couple where Auburn falls into the category. You can do that by trying to vote in Auburn as the best college for sports fans. And I think that goes across all aspects: the traditions, the atmosphere, the venues, the success, the just overall family feel of everything. This is a great opportunity for you, the Auburn family, to showcase that we are the best place for a college sports fan. You can visit auburntigers.com/vote-Auburn if you want to take part in that. They're also sharing that social media post as well. The second one that you can vote in, and I think you should, takes just a few seconds, minutes of your time. The best tradition is a way that you can vote Tumors Corner, Rolling of Tumors Corner as the best tradition. Now, I know some of you are going to say, why isn't the War Eagle flight there? And maybe that is a good case as well, but there are other people that do certain things about flying, certain birds, running out animals. So I think maybe that's what they're doing here, is putting in the uniqueness of defacing your public property, or your private property, I guess, is what some troll fans would say about it. But Rolling Tumors Corner, it's about more than that. It's about celebrating the whole of the Auburn experience. As David Housel said it best, it's what we always open up the Auburn Experience podcast saying. So do that by voting at auburntigers/vote-tumors. Once again, you're voting for two things: the best college for sports fans at auburntigers/vote-Auburn, and then the best tradition is auburntigers/vote-tumors. Should get you there. If not, go to their social media post about it and help Auburn get some much-needed publicity out of this, because we want more and more people to know about the Auburn experience. Let's talk about basketball. We're going to talk about summer league play. Now, some of this is really already been discussed in some way, shape, or form, and I do think we'll talk about this on the Auburn experience in more detail, but I at least wanted to give you all here a perspective with the NBA Summer League wrapped up, how your former Auburn Tigers did. And can we just take for a second and really relish the fact that how many Auburn Tigers we're getting to talk about? If you want a clear contrast of what was and what wasn't really of the past and what is now with Bruce Pearl, this is it right here. The fact that Auburn fans during the NBA Summer League have something to at least just stay tuned into. I'm not even an NBA fan. I don't really care for it, but I always support our Auburn Tigers, the former ones as well. And so I want to see them do well, so I'll always at least keep in touch with what they've got going on, and this has been so nice to see highlights of them throughout the summer. We've got a whole thing put out by Scott Scroggins on auburntigers.com that I'm kind of referencing here that you may want to go read for yourself to get the full details on what was happening here. But there were 6 former Auburn Tigers in the NBA Summer League that you needed to pay attention to. That's now wrapped up. Janai Broome, Dylan Cardwell, Chaney Johnson, Denver Jones, Miles Kelly, and Jalen Williams. To put into perspective, Janai obviously playing with the Philadelphia 76ers, who he got drafted by. Dylan Cardwell was with the Kings. We had 2 with the Cavs, Chaney Johnson and Denver Jones, Miles Kelly with the Mavs, and Jalen Williams with the Mavs as well. I think it should come as no shock to you that Janai Broome had the best summer league. As a draftee, you would expect that. But I think what was also I want to say a pleasant surprise, because we shouldn't be surprised. Bruce talked up this guy so much throughout the year about how underrated he is, not just as a scorer, but as a two-way player, as a defensive guy. And I think that's showing in the NBA summer. I'm talking about Miles Kelly here. Scored very well, averaging 12.6 points per game, 1.2 steals in 5 games, and he's just shot the ball well. He played defense well. I hope that the Mavs are going to find room for this guy on their roster, because I think he really showed out that maybe he should have gotten a little bit of extra look by people in the NBA draft. It is a very small and short draft, so you can understand why so many people get passed over. And it's not necessarily an indication that they're not worthy of that. There's just only so many slots in the NBA draft, but they got their opportunities. I think there were great moments for all the other guys. Dylan, Chaney, Denver, Jalen. We saw all of them have some great moments throughout, what defensively, offensively. So once again, I would recommend you go check out Scott Scroggins' article on auburntigers.com to get the full detail. We'll probably spend some more time diving into it on the Auburn Experience episode 135 this week, if we have some time for it to fit it into our always busy schedule, or at least that's the way it feels like over there at the Auburn Experience. I want to transition not just from talking basketball, but more about the current basketball team. And while I know that we're sitting here kind of sitting on pins and needles in the off season, we're all waiting on that at least somewhat schedule to drop, which I'm just dying to see, to be honest with you. At least a non-conference schedule. I think some things have to still be ironed out. But the team is now officially together, it looks like. Completely together. The one we were waiting on, Filip Jovic, who's coming from overseas and played obviously in some very prominent leagues over there. Waiting on his student visa to come over. That has come through, and we now have confirmation of him not just being here, being with the team, practicing, and showing that he knows what he's doing out there on the basketball court, shooting very well. Some posts from the social media accounts of Auburn basketball displaying what he can do that you should go check out. The team is now officially together, and while I can't say for sure that practices have officially begun, I think that begins later on this year. They're at least working out and taking time, getting to know each other. The team is together, led by, obviously, Tahad coming back. I know there is some trepidation out there with some things that we've all experienced with players making some poor decisions, but we'll wait and see what happens with all that. There's still a lot to be excited about in the basketball realm. I want to fit this last thing in here because I think it's a fun topic here, and I like to give shout-outs to people. The Next Round Live, you probably know them, a podcast. They put out a graphic showcasing and putting together in visual format since 2000, the SEC champions, and for college football, obviously, showing you who the upper echelon are, at least in terms of championships. And so my statement is this, and why I bring this up. If you ever doubt, or if you ever have anybody try to cast doubt that Auburn is part of the upper echelon of the SEC, and when we talk about these things, we're not just talking about small moments in time. We're talking about the bigger picture, this bigger picture being since the 2000s. There's only a handful of teams that have pulled that off, and we're talking about Auburn being a part of that. Certainly Alabama, Georgia most prominently. Right after that would be LSU and then Florida. But Auburn is in there 3 times as SEC champions since the 2000s, and arguably during some of the more prominent times for some of their biggest rivals and teams they play most frequently. This is when these are done. A few of these at least. So Auburn is part of the upper echelon of the SEC. It shows in the way that they are competitive. Certainly right now in terms of football, it's not been where fans want it. There are reasons for that. We talk about that ad nauseum in other places and can continue to do so. Why that is, it's not just one thing. Well, never mind. I'm not going to go there today. Auburn's part of the upper echelon of the SEC. Don't doubt it. Don't let anybody ever tell you otherwise. If they do, they just don't know what they're talking about. That graphic from the Next Round Live proves it right there. So that's going to do it for episode 41 of the Ever to podcast series that we have here for you. We want to remind you of a couple things. Tonight, if you're listening to this the day this comes out, it's Wednesday. Wednesday nights are your night. Auburn Family Night. Call into the show. Be part of the chat. We'd love to see you there on YouTube at 9 Eastern time. That's every Wednesday night, barring unforeseen circumstances. And we'd love to hang out with you a little bit more on that occasion. As always, we appreciate you being here, hanging out with us, and spending some time being a part of our little family within the Auburn family. Until we talk to you again, War Eagle.